Good morning, children. Good morning, children. Good morning, parents. Uh, at the outset, I'd like to express on behalf of Science International family our deep, heartfelt thanks to each one of you for reposing confidence in us and giving us the opportunity for our children to grow as good human beings and make a lot of difference. And I'll justify why I'm saying so. Before I, put some of the requests, because all that methodology and the practices, good schooling, all have been, I think, dealt in detail by our principal. And the processes to follow will be given to you in a docket after this session. So I will limit to few requests that I'll make before I leave. But before that, I should take you, though I would have told it in some occasion or the other, I feel it's necessary for me to take you through why at all Science International School was established. And that will bring into light the philosophy behind making this school, which I need all of your support. As all of you know, I am a chartered accountant and I did my chartered accountancy, cost accountancy, law, MBA finance, ISA. So I did all my possible education, and probably I was also a good student from the school days itself. So I was I have always kept a very keen interest in education, and I always prefer and love to be a student and learn, because it's only continuous learning. It will help and empower me to profess. And after having done a profession as a chartered accountant for more than 25 years, at some point a dichotomy came to me that whether I am pursuing my profession or I should be with my passion. And that's the time where I started to get sleepless nights, because my heart was always with my passion. And when I looked at myself and my passion, 2 points came to my mind. One, that education is my passion, and 2, I love children. And when I combined 2, it was that I should do something on school education. And third point, which drove me towards making a good school, was I wanted to give the best of possible education to my own sons, twin sons, without sending them to a boarding school. So all that body, mind and soul development which can take place in a boarding school should be available in a school which I proposed to make. And this was the thought around 1995. From 1995 to about 2007, for 12 years, I started moving across the globe. I saw more than 150 schools abroad and about 100 schools in India, and wanted to learn what makes a good school, what children want, what parents want. And taking all the research work that I did for 12 years, we launched Science International School in 2008. We were so confident when we launched Science International School with all the learning over the 12 years that we wanted to benchmark ourselves. We wanted to benchmark ourselves that within the next 7 years, that is by 2015, Science International School should be one of the top 10 schools of the country. And we started working towards that. And you'll all be happy that by 2013, that is just 5 years of making Science School, we became the 8th best school of India. And last year, we became the 7th best school by Education World and 6th best school of India by India Today Group. And I think it deserves a clap for all of you that it's your school. Along with that, we also received the Microsoft Innovation School Award, British Council Outstanding School Award, and all this was vindicated with the result of last year 12th, where more than 70% of our students got placed into the top institutions of India, and few of them went abroad also with flying colors. This was all possible because of the rigor and the cooperation that we receive from each one of you, and taking our students methodically through a process. While doing all this, around 2007, I felt that I should do something on the early childhood education, which is the foundation for every child. And there started my second phase of research and education. To educate myself, I went to National College of School Leadership in Nottingham, then to Asian International College in Singapore for early childhood education, and finally to Harvard to learn about early childhood education. And after I went through all these three great institutions and went through the research work they have done and the training program they imparted, we culminated this Sai Angan, which is poised to be world's largest play school. It's not by the size that it's world's largest. The methodology that is being adopted, if you have time, just spend 5-10 minutes in the classroom, because each classroom is a school by itself. Because the theory and the research which is already there, existing in the internet, you can go through, that the child brain grows up to the age of 7, and whatever we do, all the activities that we do to the age of 7 helps the child for a holistic growth. And that's what we are trying to do. We are trying to do the 7 skills or the 9 skills as per the practices we follow, and see to that we do such activities that every child, all the centers of the brain gets equally developed, not by intuition that some child is good at this, some child is good at that. So that will be the beauty of this, and I'm sure all the children who will pass through this institution, Sai Angan, will be much evolved children, and you'll all be there. You'll all see these children who are passing through the Sai Entrance School, of Sai Angan to Sai Entrance School, and then these children will be something different. So this is about the philosophy behind Sai Angan and Sai International School. So having said this, now comes what is my request to you. I have got 3-4 requests, and with that I will end. The first request that I will make to each one of you is, let's understand that whatever words we use, whatever actions we take, whatever behavior we show in the house in front of our children gets into or imprinted into the brain of the child passively, and these manifest in a much bigger and larger proportion when they grow up in some phase of their life. So if some of the actions when they grow up you don't like, maybe those are manifestations of some of the actions we did unknowingly when these were small kids. So what does it infer? It infers that we have to be very extra careful when we are behaving, when we are talking, when we are acting in front of our children. That matters a lot. We feel that their kids, they don't understand. They may not understand, but all our words and actions gets into their brain imprinted. They don't understand now, but when their understanding comes, this comes back with a much bigger force. So my first request to all of us is, let's look at ourselves. It goes with the saying that, I was intelligent, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am trying to change myself. And that's what is grooming all about. My second request to all of our parents who are sitting here is something that we are practicing in the school and we want your help. And this practice is called as Sai Sanskar series. Because we feel that the sanskar that is ingrained in our children makes them good human being and immaculate character when they grow up. I'll only tell you 2-3 small words and one small action which will make their character immaculate and stand apart. Please train our children to use as many times possible the simple word please. Let them use the word please in every sentence when they are making any request. That will imbibe in them the sense of humility, the sense of respectfulness. Very small word, please. And count how many times they are using please in a day. More and more they are using please in a day, their character grows exponentially into making a good human being. Very much doable. We are teaching our children in the school. We want your help in keeping a pace of this small word please. Second, any work done for the child, please teach them to say thank you. Let them start saying thank you or telling thank you, expressing thank you to the servants, to the driver, to anybody. Build in them the sense of gratitude or expressing the gratification. The sense of gratification. Small word, thank you. Each of us can ensure, at least let them start using 15-20 times a day, thank you. That will have a dramatic effect in their character building. If they do any mistake, instead of reprimanding them, teach them to say sorry. Sorry will make them feel that they have done something wrong. Sorry will make them submissive. Just 3. I request you to train our children to use these 3 words as many times possible, and the last word as less as possible, because the use of sorry should be as minimal as possible. That means they are not doing much of mistakes. But each time they do, please make them feel and realize that they should say sorry. It's very difficult for a child to say sorry until the child is convinced, and that's possible. And last, action as far as character building is concerned. At least one day in a week, before coming to the school, teach them to touch the feet of yourselves, the parents and grandparents if they are in the house. That will make them submissive. That will give them the sense of complete surrender. That will build in them the concept of spirituality, not religion. The concept of spirituality. It's very difficult to bow down and touch the feet. And once you train them, the essence of touching the feet is not symbolic, but with the sense of surrender, there will be appreciable and significant change in their character building. Very simple, 3 words and 1 action, and you see the impact. And that's what we are teaching our children as Sai Sanskar series in our school, and we expect and request all of you to please help us. The third request is on the basis of the interaction I had, I have always, and I'll be having in the future with our children. One thing comes very common out of my learning is that the involvement of parents and the engagement of parents is inversely proportional with the age of the child. Your involvement is very high when the child is of 5, 6, and as the child grows, we feel the child is good enough to understand, and we just need to help them and remind them. I feel we are doing injustice. It should surely come down, but not by 70%. It can maximum come down by 30% till they go to the 12th, till they pass out of the school. Your involvement will make them good student, good human being, and the family values will come into them. That's why India is so proud of our heritage, and it comes through the family values. And I am saying this because if in the parent-teacher meetings we have 100% attendance till almost class 3, the attendance of parents coming for the parent-teacher meeting comes down slowly from class 4. And till class 12, it's hardly 10-15%. Do you feel that once you have given the child admission to the school, it is only the school responsibility that the child will grow? And the child should self-develop a mechanism by which the child will learn, and we do not have any responsibility? Please don't do that. You are not only depriving the child, but you are depriving yourself for your engagement and involvement in the grooming of the child. So please attend all the parent-teacher meeting. Please engage yourself with the class teacher. Please understand more and more the child. Allow the child to grow with your involvement, and we'll have a tremendous impact on the children. I am doing another research with British Council, is the impact of empathy on the children. This is taking about 100 children and taking them to blind school, making them blindfolded for 3 days, keeping them with the blind children and understand how the blind child feels. Bring in and build in them the empathy and let them realize the difference between haves and have-nots. Let them realize, how fortunate they are having eye when children do not have eyes. And this sense of empathy will be lifelong with them. And at the end of this research, which is probably going to end in October, November, we'll come out with some series of activities which will build in empathy in our children. I will try to do something like this also in the leadership camps, which I'm sure Principal Sir would have shared with you. So please see that your children attend these leadership camps. This will have a qualitative impact on our children, because we want our seniors to be different. We want our seniors to talk like a senior, to walk like a senior, to behave like a senior, class apart, because we believe that as our seniors, they are either the best or they are different from the rest. They are not just another child or a student. And that's only possible with your active involvement and engagement with us. Now, the last thought that I will leave with you is, all of us know the bond between the mother and the child. The bond between the mother and child is created by God. It's not by choice. It's created by God. And mother is the only human being, even God cannot do it, who shares the food that she takes with the child before the child is born. And that's what is the bond, and that's what is mother's tone. Mother's tone brings in the child the sense of perseverance, sympathy, empathy, emotion. All this comes because of this mother's tone. And we are all individually sitting here are proud of the mother's tone. We salute and respect this mother's tone. Today I am standing here and able to talk to you empathetically is because of the mother's tone which is in me. Let's all understand the value and relevance of mother's tone in a child. And I'm sure all of us respect and know that. Only a word of caution to our mothers, while understanding the sensitivity of mother's tone, let's not behave like a tiger mother. Please read the book Tiger Mother by Ami Chua. It's a world famous book and it's a must for all mothers. Please read this book. Don't be a mother who thinks that if my child goes to school, the child always has to be first. Otherwise, the child is useless. If the child joins a sport, the child should be champion. Otherwise, useless. The child should not join sports, wasting time. If the child is learning music, the child should be the best. And when I am with a gathering with other parents should say, oh, your child is the best singer, is the best tableist. Please don't do that. This is what the Chinese mother does. They make their children mechanic. Mechanically, they make them practice towards perfection. And mechanically, they get perfection. And they get pride in that. And that's what is very nicely explained in this book, Tiger Mother by Ami Chua. It's a must for all mothers. Please understand the value of mother's tone, not tiger mother. And I'm sure all of you know I will not elaborate much into this. But I will elaborate the last point which I wanted to make is father's tone. While all of us are proud and all of us talk a lot about mother's tone, role of mother, give lectures on role of mother, probably we forget what is father's tone and what value father's tone has on children. Please understand, father's tone gives direction, discipline to the child. It gives direction and brings in discipline to the child. Father's tone connects the child with the outer world. You are the bridge between the child and the outer world. Once you are unable to bring in the father's tone in the child, there is every likelihood the child will become indisciplined. There is every likelihood the child will lose direction in life. There is every likelihood that the child may not be connected with the outer world. The child will groom within the four walls. It's a very simple way of inculcating the father's tone in the children. That's very simple. Just spend 1 hour with the child every day meticulously without fail. Once you start spending 1 hour minimum with the child every day, the father's tone will automatically imbibe into the children. It may be by form of stories. It may be talking with them the current affairs. It may be playing with them. It may be taking them for a drive. Whatever possible, but at least 1 hour. In spite of all our busy schedule, I have been doing it for the last 20-25 years for my daughter and for the last 17 years for both my sons. When they are away, I try to talk to them for about half an hour to 45 minutes every day. And that's must. They wait for it. They wait for the father's tone. And it's our responsibility to see that the father's tone is imbibed in our children. My request to all mothers sitting here, please ensure that the fathers spend at least 1 hour and then also the impact of father's tone is there because father is there to share the problems. Father is there to say, don't fail my son, I am there. Don't fail my daughter, I am there. We'll walk together. Together we can conclude, or together we can go and do the impossible.
Down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. To more than I can be. Stormy seas, I am strong when I am on your shoulders.
It was not important for Derek that whether he did win the Olympic Barcelona. It was important for Derek that he had the Father Stone. It was the 65,000 people who gave a standing ovation looking at the Father Stone, which is reflected through the whole world. And that's what is Father Stone. That Father, you are always there. With this note, I leave with the Father Stone in you and expect our children to be the best or different from the rest. May God bless you. Thank you.